I'm a firm believer that Micah Parsons will win the Defensive Player of the Year award. We don't even go out and hire a kicker. We get a soccer player. Opposing teams are going to make Dak Prescott beat him. And the question is, will he be able to do it?
Hey. Okay.
All right. The first game of the season for the Dallas Cowboys is in the books. Sunday Night Football, we play against the New York Giants. We won 40-0. This is a post-game reaction from a true Dallas Cowboy fan. I like to call it Dallas Cowboy Honesty Hour. I'm gonna be honest, I'm keeping it real. I'm not your typical fan that says every year my team is going to the Super Bowl. I like to keep it real. I don't get too high or too low in key moments, in key games. You know, I like to take it one game at a time. So I'm not your fan that's gonna sit here and say, yo, we're going to the Super Bowl because we had one good game so far. That's not happening. It's one game. Now in that one game, we did our thing. There was a lot of good. There was some bad. I start off with the video with the good. Our defense, flawless game. I honestly will say that we probably have the best defense in the NFL. Now, the 49ers, on the defense side of the ball, they had a flawless game as well. But our defense was lights out. And that's because we have the best defensive player in the NFL in Micah Parsons. Now, I'm a firm believer that Micah Parsons will win the Defensive Player of the Year award. His first 2 years in his career, he came in second place. This is the year where he's going to win the award. So just looking at the stats, Micah Parsons had 1 sack, which I thought he had 2, but they only gave him 1. He had a tackle for loss, and he had 2 quarterback hits. But a stat that he had that you won't see unless you watch the game and know the game is that he was setting his teammates up all night so they could eat, so they could get stats. On the night, the Dallas Cowboys had 7 sacks. Our linebacking core, they played pretty good. Damone Clark, LVE, I have nothing bad to say. You know, we held Saquon Barkley in the check. Secondary, I'm so happy we got Stephon Gilmore because last year, that was the only flaw in our defense. Target opposite of Trayvon Diggs. So they was targeting Anthony Brown every game. Now that we have Stephon Gilmore, go ahead and target opposite Trayvon Diggs. Stephon Gilmore had 3 PBUs and an interception last night. So there's no real flaws in our defense. Last year, like I said, 2 things our offense could do against us that could probably hurt us. Target opposite Trayvon Diggs or run up the middle. In the NFL draft, we didn't go for the flashy pick. We drafted Mozzie Smith, big boy out of Michigan. Offenses cannot just run up the middle anymore because we got some beef up there now. They can't just target the right side of the field anymore because we got a future Hall of Famer. Our defense gave up 0 points, held Daniel Jones in check. Our defense is definitely the good of what happened last night. Now, the bad. I will have to say the bad was we missed our first field goal. The fact that towards the end of last year, our kicker was stinking it up, and our first field goal of the season was a miss, had me angry. And I didn't know this. Our kicker, he wasn't even a football player. He's a soccer guy. So I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, we had kicking problems last year. We don't even go out and hire a kicker. We get a soccer player. But that's besides the point because he cleaned it up. You know, he was flawless for the rest of the night. But that first one got underneath my skin. The next thing I want to talk about is our tight end group and Dak Prescott. So if you look at Dak's stats, he was 13-24 for 143 yards. Let's think about the context of the game. It was raining hard. So chances are we weren't going to pass a lot. And the fact that we had a lead for all of the game, there was no reason for us to pass. But the fact that he was only 13-24 with 143 yards, that's kind of scary, right? He actually was last in pass completions and last in pass completion percentages. So that's not something you will want to hear from your $40 million quarterback. But like I said, it was terrible weather and our tight ends couldn't catch a cold. Peyton Hendershot dropped a touchdown. Jake Ferguson dropped multiple passes. I think CeeDee Lamb even dropped a catch. So those are right there, at the very least, 4 extra completions that Dak should have had and a touchdown. His receivers weren't catching the rock, and there were some good passes. Our tight ends, every ball that they dropped, the ball hit him in the hand. But as I was watching the game, I see that the Dallas Cowboys, we're going to be obviously led by our defense, which I'm happy with because it may sound cliche, but defense wins championships. Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. The fact that Mike McCarthy is calling the plays now, we're going to establish the run game off the bat. We're going to have an efficient run game, which I love. And then from there, we can set Dak up with some play action passes, settle him down, get a couple completions, then take the long shot with either B. Cooks or CD Lamb. So like I said, it's just the first game of the season. But if you're just looking at the NFC, after week 1, the top dogs are obviously the 49ers, the Cowboys, and I'll throw the Eagles in there just because I know the Eagles, they're going to be good. And in order for the Cowboys to make it out the NFC, it's going to come down to Dak Prescott. Because our defense, we have like 70 plus turnovers in the past 2 seasons, which is crazy. Our defense is going to hold it down. They're going to do their part. Opposing teams are going to make Dak Prescott beat them. And the question is, will he be able to do it?